Hello everyone, Teacher here. Welcome back to another video. Today I want to take a look ahead, like do a roster review and who I'm farming, because I always do this at the beginning of a month. And also I want to show you guys how I plan ahead for my squads and raids. So if you're ready, let's take a closer look. So we're gonna start off in the roster section, and right off the bat, my TCP is around 300k. It's 305, I just checked, and that's basically where I'm at. Of course, I believe it differentiates depending on glyphs and so on, because that affects your power level. But anyways, let's show it here. My elves, they are still gear 9. I don't have any plan to gear 10 them at the current time, also because of how expensive it is to get glyphs to gear 10, scroll wise that is, and I have other things to spend my gold on. So then we have one Haradrim without a glyph in Robel, and then we have Halbarad, Bekalu, Yeftu. But first, let's just here we have a Tebeb who is let me just roll that down a little bit. I've heard rumors about a 200 out of 300 offer. I'm gonna take it when I get to that, so that should be within 2 weeks. Then we have Wubate, who is still gear 8. I'll look into that at some point, but he needs tar like the other ones, and I'm really struggling for that. So then we have Halbarad or Halbachad, who I will pivot to once Tebeb is done. Then we have our dwarves, 7 days, then I'm done with Feely. I've already collected for today. Then I have Thorn, who's fully built. Feely is basically done. Not that far off. Let's just show you here. Level 5, and then here level 3. So I'm gonna leave the special one here because I don't need the weaken due to Thorn inflicting that. I want the heal, and I want the armor block chance, and then Feely is actually done ability-wise for the time being. Of course, I will want to make him gear 9. Especially because he's a 7-star, so his heal will be really impacted by that. That's why I want to make him. Then we have Keely, who is well on his way to being a 6-star, and his abilities is the next thing I'll look into. I'll start with his paired strikes because of his assistance mechanic, and I'll get him to gear 8, I think. Then we have some Road to Rivendell and some other ones down here, like they are not lift up. Denethor is coming along nicely, so is Boromir. Boromir is hopefully done this month. Eomer might do some gear into him. Ironhide, not farming him yet. Eowyn, done farm soon. Balin, working on him, getting that chalk for the dwarves, so that's pretty nice. I have my Dol Guldur here, 2 of them. I'm really considering doing those, but we'll come back into that. Grimba, I'm done farming him. Golbert, soon a 6-star. Things coming along nicely here. Just some members I haven't promoted. Here we have Gandalf right in the middle. Gonna be like 5 raids. Then I have him at 6-star. That's gonna be pretty nice. So probably have to build him at some point. And then, just as everyone knows, we are waiting for these 2 to be released. I would kind of laugh if Rumel went into the challenge store because of how good everyone feel he is. So yeah, that's kind of like how my roster looked real quickly. And now I want to pivot over into my farming guide. Sorry for the bright light here. My face just became a lot more bright. So I'm farming Balin, Nuras, Gruher. These offer something I need. Balin gives me the chalk that I need. Nuras gives me armor essence, and Gruher gives me resistance. Then I farm Keely, Denethor, Eowyn, Herondale, Ara, Orphis, Chef, Alreda, Wexe. So, Denethor I'm farming for Gondor because I believe there's good potential in Gondor, and I'll come into that section when we do the planning ahead for my raid squads, because I want to give you guys a show of my 5 squads that I actually use for each chapter. I've clipped it, so, and then what I'm planning to build ahead for this Q1 of 2024. Now, when Eowyn is done at 6-star, I'm gonna stop farming her because at the moment I'm doing, my calculation is 820 per day, and we're only getting like 780, so that's an issue. But when she's done in 30 shards for a 6-star, then I will stop farming her. You might wonder, why am I not stopping with Herondale or Aura? Well, in case Gondor is needed for something, and considering that I have the marquees at where they are, I rather want to stop with Rohan for the time being, and then make sure I finish my Gondor. And again, I'll come back into that when we look at the chapters in the raid. Obviously, I'm farming Orphis and Chef for the goblins. Alreda and Wexa, I'm farming them in case I need Dunlin for something, and Alreda gives me purple chalk, and Wexa gives me opals for dwarves. So, and on that note, 5-1 in light normal is really a good place to farm. You get Bloodlust Glyphs and you get opals for dwarves or for Eomer, so consider farming that. It's a good place, and I would advise you farming 6 attempts at the time. I don't know why, it's just my RNG superstition, but I feel it works. So now we're actually going to jump over into this right here. So we're going to take a look at these squads, and I'm going to tell you what I think going forward. Right now I'm gaining 5.1 million in chapter 1. That's really nice, but I want to hit higher. So I'm ranking them here as I see potential. My elves score 1.5. On a good day, it takes me less than half an hour due to my attempts. Sometimes I'm not willing to give up early enough, so I would say normally between 10 and 15 attempts, no more than that, should normally give it to me. Road to Rivendell is on here. I know that it says free. I didn't feel like swapping the numbers. You'll see that for everyone. But like, the reason why I place Road to Rivendell up here is because I know they can get 1.5. I'll drop a link to a video in the description so you guys can see, where there's also a detailed version of what to do in the description. It's a really good video. Then I have my Gondor Ranger here, and the reason why I have Gondor Ranger here is because I believe they can get 1.5. You have some assist mechanics with Denethor. You have a lot of AoE, so you can get a hit on a bomber, but also get rid of a taunt. You have a weaken on 2 members here for the Skull Crusher or the Manglers. You have a slow mechanic, you have a heal, and you have 2 taunts. And you also have a stun, and you have giving you unbreakable. So I believe this squad fully leveled can give you 1.5. That is my honest belief. For those who do Gondor, you could have Herondale in here instead, but my Gondor Ranger is like this. Then I've placed Haradrim down here, and that is because I'm really uncertain if Haradrim can do 1.5. I know some people have said that it can, but I've yet to see any proof anywhere. So, and what I'm looking at here is maybe Bekaloo and Yevtu, and then Tebeb when she's at 7-star. Maybe that will be the difference maker with the healing. But the reason why I'm placing them down there and not at my 5th spot is because my future is dwarves. Now, Feely Keely, this is meant to be Bomber, and then Thorn, and then this is supposed to be Gimli, because Gimli I might plan on using for a chapter 3 down the line. Feely Keely, this is meant to be Bomber. I couldn't get my hands on his sprite, so we'll have to make do with this, and this for Thorn. I know this is Fro, but I'm not meaning it to be Fro, I'm meaning this to be Thorn, so that will be my 5 squad members. And maybe Rumel in here. I know Rumel is good, or swap around, like take some out and do other things, but Bomber is definitely going to be a key here. So that is my plan, to swap out this squad for a Dwarf squad, because I want to hit 1.5 with hopefully 2 to 3 squad members, 2 to 3 squads in chapter 1 before the end of Q1. I don't know if I'll get there, but that is my plan. And I feel I have Dwarves, Road to Rivendell, and Gondor Ranger as an option. Haradrim I'm still uncertain about, but it is what it is. So that was chapter 1, how I'm planning ahead there. But on a last note, I do know that Rohan with Ironhide is good everywhere, so Not saying that you shouldn't focus on them and that they can't get 1.5. I'm just saying this is my planning ahead, and hopefully you guys will see why as we move along. Then we have our chapter 2. This is how the squads kind of look again at the moment. Here we have full Rivendell. They get me 1.3, I think, last time. I need to build up my Lomian more or just swap in a Legolas at some point down the line because I need to build Legolas for the Fellowship team. I believe we'll get some Fellowship news in Q1. Haradrim, soon 1.5. I just need more damage on my Yevtu. Then Dwarves, I moved them up here because Dwarves are doing really, really nice. And this again is Feely, Keely, Thorin, and Gimli. And I should have put Biffer in here. But this is like a transitional team. This is my Rohan team being phased out, and I'm phasing over into a full Dwarf team. So this should hopefully in chapter 2 mean that I get mythical currency before April. And the reason why Road to Rivendell is down here is because I know they can score, but they lack some Banes. And this is why these two teams are down here, because I'm a little bit uncertain about them. But here there is Weaken, there is some Slow, there's some Assist Mechanics, there's Unbreakable, there's Heal. There's also Heal down here. But most importantly, there's a bleed mechanic here, and this is why I think this squad has, for me, a little higher ceiling than Road to Rivendell. Still, I believe Road to Rivendell can get above above 900k, but it's the whole focus mechanic, and there's not that many Banes to actually be landed with Road to Rivendell, where this team has more options. There's Weak-Minded for the resistance, Weaken and Bleed, Weaken, Slow, Stun, Assist Mechanics, Immunity, Regen, swap taunting around. So yeah, and then obviously my future squad is gonna be goblins because I know they can really get high score. Night Hunter from my guild, fellow content creator, not my guild but the guild that I'm in. He has scored basically a 1.5 and he's looking at 2 million with them. He does have Erders in there instead of, I believe it's Orphus, but that is his team. So, and I know I want a 7-star Thorin in here, so I need to build goblins anyway, and knowing that goblins are that good for chapter 2, and I have shadow side crystals that I need to spend and gear shadow characters, goblins might be a very good option. However, I'm still on the fence about that because Dol Guldur hopefully we'll see new members soon enough, because Dol Guldur is really, really good. I know Coach, he sent me some info about Chapter 4 yesterday, some Dol Guldur mix squads. I've looked a little bit at it, but and also everyone knows about the Dol Guldur cheese in Chapter 3, or it is out there. I know Swag has covered it. So there is a reason why I'm a little bit on the fence, but I believe that knowing goblins with their bleed can do 1.5 and potentially hit a 2 million ceiling, that would be really nice because that would mean 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, 1.5, and a 900k run when something is built, or yeah, hopefully a 900k. That would be a 6.9, and I'm pretty happy with that if I can get that. I don't think I can get there in Q1, but I should be able to get between 5 and 6 million, hopefully higher. Then we have our chapter 3 squads, and this looks a little bit more interesting. I'll actually just do this up here. So this squad right here, up here, my Rivendell with Lord Balin, 1.5, scores it pretty good. My big issue, on the other hand, is the fact that I have my, how to say, I did a test in difficulty 5 and wow, the damage. So I think 1.5 might be the ceiling. Now, the reason why Lomian is up there is because I did use Lomian before they fixed Lord Elrond with the immunity. I'll see if I can get that working again, because I do want to swap Balin down to dwarves, and we'll come back to that very, very soon. Gondor Ranger, you can see Naramiri is there at the moment for the heal. Also, why Miri is still there is because I believe when Denethor is 6 and Boromir is 7, with their health and getting some glyphs with some higher levels on. And then a Thor to gear 8 means that hopefully I can take Neuramiri out and just use Miri, because I know this squad can gain like 1 million without Neuramiri. The reason why I'm using her is to gain that few extra 100k points. I get like 1.29 basically with this squad. So this squad should be getting 1.5 as well, along as this up here. So maybe Neuramiri up there, and then Miri when these are leveled, and then be able to survive. Road to Rivendell, I know they can score 1-ish million. I've heard that 1.1. I think Sleeper from the guild took out Frodo and put in Éomer here, and he got a 1.2. So again, Éomer is also why I showed him over in chapter 1, because he's just so good everywhere, with his summon also doing an insane amount of damage. So that's why the squad is there. Haradrim, I can get 900k. I showed on the Discord for the guild how I got it with Bloodlust, so there's no recording, but there will be on the upcoming. I'll do my very, very best to make sure you guys can see how I do Haradrim. And yeah, it's basically where you have to RNG it to the very end, but this is second raid in a row where I get 900k with Haradrim in chapter 3. And with the damage they're doing and a little bit more buffing and everything, maybe they can go above 900k. I'm not sure yet. It will also depend on Tebep. Then my fifth squad down here is Éomer, Ironhide, Lady Eowyn, Eothane, and Nuras. This gets me like 879. Like my Nuras is level 40, 5-star, and Éomer is level 60, 7-star, but gear 6. No ability except for his passive above level 5. Ironhide, his 2 AoEs are level 4. He's a 6-star, level 60. Eothane, level 50, 6-star. Eowyn, level 50, 5-star at the moment. So this squad might have potential for 1.5 down the line if you build it out. Again, this is also something that would really be accessible early on for free-to-play players to farm and focus on, so there is that. I've also seen some people in the Discord mention that they like this team, so that's really good. And also, it's a very good team for Chapter 1, so you would give yourself a lot of score when you do that. And then I actually have 2 teams down here in the future, and that is because I'm really concerned about where to go. Dwarves, I've heard from Swag that he's not sure like what their ceiling is, but I believe Bomber could be a very, very good. So this is the same. Gimli for Gimli, Fro for Thorin, and this one for Bomber. It was Dwarven support, I don't know, in the files. And then Feely Keely. Biffer's not in there at the moment because Biffer, yes, he has cleanse, but I don't need the cleanse for the Cave Troll because they just do so much damage, so maybe the slow isn't needed there, though the slow would be nice. I'll talk to the dwarf expert about that, especially Swag. Sorry, just my cat, not Bandit, but his sister, who's stealing my attention over on the couch. I'm not gonna bring her over, she's not that friendly. She's not that friendly and a little bit shy. And then, yeah, with Bomber there's haste and there's everything. With Gimli there's some provoke, and maybe with everything leveled up you could just power through it due to a bloodlust on this set. So with haste, slow, someone taunting, and he also can do some retaliate, like he has a lot of damage when he's fully built. This is why I have them down here, because I'm gonna build them anyway, so I want to see how high they can get. But then you also see goblins here, and this is because Nighthunter showed me something in the most recent raid. He got a 1.4 with goblins. Yes, goblins in chapter 3 got 1.4 million. Again, they are 7-star, they are gear 9, and most of their abilities are maxed, so but that is something we should expect when we do div 4. And I believe his great goblin had like 21 stacks of Unbreakable due to Chef stealing it. So Chef just going around stealing all those Unbreakable stats and giving it to Great Goblin. So yeah, if they mark Great Goblin, well, woohoo, you get a kill. bloodlust, so you reduce the number, you get turn meter, and you always have unbreakable stacks on you, and you even have a Grimpa, and you have a summon to help swap the mechanics around with the marks, and you also have summon, so you keep gaining that turn meter, so seems pretty interesting. So that's also why goblins for chapter 2 has a higher priority for me at the moment. So yeah, that is my chapter 3. And then I'll move myself back down here. Okay, I actually moved myself over here. Sorry for this. Um, so this squad gains a 900k. I believe I can get a 1.5 when Ballin is level 60. At the moment, the squad struggles with some damage and Ballin also dying. So then we have this team right now. This is my face team. Should actually be down at the bottom. But the reason why it's up here is because this is going to be where dwarfs are located due to Thorin. Again, I used Boromir and Faramir with the duo and Thorin for getting a 659 score, and I got to 2.5 mil total. Oh, in chapter 2 I gained 4.25. Chapter 3 I get 5.4, and here I got 2.5. So there's some score increase that can be got across the board. But this video is taking its toll, so we'll wrap it up very soon. Haradrim are here because I believe they can score more with higher damage on Yevtu and every ability level, so I believe there's something there. Road to Rivendell, they're pretty nice. Maybe I should swap them around, but they can also do pretty well there. And then this is my leftover squad down at the bottom. It can give me 300k. And then as you can see, I'm building a future squad down there, and that for this chapter will probably where Gandalf comes in. Chapter 4, I just basically want to get my 6 shards and then focus on the other chapters, because the other chapters increasing the score there will also be able to help me with my chapter 4. Again, coach, he showed me some really interesting squads that I'll read through and see if I can pivot to any one of them really well without hurting my investment at the moment, because I'm gonna go full dwarves for this month and probably some of next month as well. And then I'll pivot back and finish off maybe my Haradrim, honestly, or I'll move over into my Gondor Ranger squad. It's those two options. I don't think I'll pivot to Road to Rivendell, but I'll see, because it depends where can I get the most score, and if Road to Rivendell is better suited for overall score increase, I will go for them. So this video did end up taking its time, so yeah, drop a comment down below. What are you farming? How are you planning to build for this quarter? And are you as excited as I am for news? Hopefully we get some this week, but we'll see. So again, drop a comment down below, consider leaving a like and a subscribe, and I'll see you all next video.